Wait, what? I can do that? This is Eric Bell with Wait, What? Financial matters that matter for business and the people that own them. Welcome to this episode of Wait, What? Financial matters that matter for business and the people that own them. This is Eric Bell. I'm fortunate today to have John Dade with me. John's been in the alternative investment space for about 18 years. He's currently a commodity trader advisor, so he helps raise capital for future dealers, commodity dealers. And John, today we're not going to talk about what he does professionally. We're going to talk about what he does as a hobby. And he has a thing called Cigar Business Mixer Group. And I want to have John on today because he has one coming up fairly soon in Orange County, but he has them throughout Southern California. And want to welcome John to the show. Thanks for coming on, John.
Hey, Eric, thanks for having me on board. I appreciate it.
So talk to me about, we're both cigar guys. So talk to us, John, a little bit about Cigar Business Mixer Group.
Okay. Yeah, the group was kind of an offshoot of necessity. We're 9 years now. We'll be 10 years in February. I'm in the alternative investment space. I raise capital for commodity trading advisors, people who trade in the commodities industry, futures and options industry. And my client is kind of a particular type of client, typically a high net worth individual. Typical networking events that I went to, and we've all been to different ones, so I'm not going to name them, just didn't have that type of person that I needed to meet and what have you. So me and a few friends got together, kind of had the same problem, and decided to start a networking group that would attract our type of client, high net worth individuals, to us. So we kind of figured out what they like to do. They like to travel. They like, good scotch, good whiskey. They smoke good cigars. They hang out at private country clubs. They play golf and these type of things. So we decided to build a networking group that had those components that would attract them to us. We called it the Cigar Business Mixer Group so that they knew had to do with business. It had to do with networking. But what makes it unique is it's based around the passions that I have and the other group members have, good spirits and fine cigars. And it started attracting those type of individuals. We started out with 7 or 8 people. 9 years later, in Orange County, we average about 40 to 50 people. We have a chapter in San Diego that averages about 40 to 50 each month. We also have one in Los Angeles that averages about 30 to 40 members each month. And we just launched our new chapter on Wednesday, the 23rd, in Westlake Village. And they had it at a Rolls-Royce Bentley dealership in Thousand Oaks. And their inaugural night, they had over 70 individuals show up for that event.
That's a good showing.
Liquor tasting. They had high-end cigars. They had barbecue. They launched it. They knocked it out of the park.
So, you're right. When you go to a network event, it's usually a bunch of people. Mm-hmm. They're just handing out cards, trying to gather as many cards as they can, get as many names as they can. They're trying to sell you something all the time. When you and I met and we talked about this is not that kind of environment at all.
No, it's not. And again, that's another reason anybody that does networking, people should network. I mean, if you're in any kind of an industry where you need to meet new people, have new leads, new clients, cold calling is dead. The phones are dead. You need to network to grow and survive in the years ahead. But most people who have experienced networking events, you walk into a group and it's almost like going back into high school. You have, 5 people here, 5 people there, 3 or 4 people here. You try to go up and introduce yourself and kind of blend into the conversation. And after about 30 seconds or so of standing there and being ignored, you just kind of walk away. And then the flip side is the one that does come up to you, has a business card, in your face, and he wants you to buy something right there. Right. I mean, it's like hammer, hammer, hammer.
Right.
And that's not the way that people do business today. It's about relationships today. It's about building that friendship, that commonality. And when you walk into one of our events, even if you're there for the first time, within the first minute, you're going to be introduced to somebody. You're going to be talking to people about, what are you smoking today? What are you drinking? What's the tasting? You're going to feel like you've been there forever, and you're going to make friends. And we don't talk that much business. Most of it is about the conversation about our likes and passions. Again, cars, boats, planes, travel, good cigars, good scotch, sports, and what have you. And by the way, at the end of the night, I really enjoyed hanging out with you. Why don't we get together, for coffee next week and see if there's some collaboration
So you can learn more about each other, huh?
Yeah, build that friendship.
It just seems, when you're sitting there having a cigar and a drink, sooner or later someone's going to ask you, so what do you do for a living, or what do you do?
Yes.
So I
Yes.
think that comes up during that conversation.
It does come up in conversation. And people know, again, it's in the name, that they're there to network and meet people and kind of mingle and mix, but it's not the forefront. It's not,
Right.
They know that they can come in, and if they don't want to talk business, they don't have to. It's like, I had a bad day. I want to have a cigar and a scotch, and let's talk about this and that, whatever. And I like you, so let's get together next week.
Right.
Yeah. So there's no pressure there.
So I know you said last Wednesday, or was it this Wednesday, Westlake Village?
Yeah, the 23rd, we launched Westlake Village.
So just a couple days ago.
Right.
And you're going to have one in Orange County pretty soon. When is that?
Yeah, we have them in Orange County monthly. It's the second Wednesday of the month in Orange County. That's 99% of the time. Sometimes the venue will change that on us, so it's out of our control. But second Wednesday of the month. This one's going to be coming up on November 13th. It's going to be at Bastango Restaurant, which is a very fine restaurant in Orange County in Irvine. They just remodeled their beautiful patio. So we're going to be on the patio. We have cigar vendors. We have a bourbon vendor. We have a vodka vendor. We have a wine vendor. And it starts at 5:30 and goes to about 9:30 or 10.
Okay.
And there is no charge for this one.
And Bastangos, I know they got valet parking, and they also, they're right there off Von Carmen.
Yes.
In Irvine.
Yes, they're right off on Carmen. They have valet parking, and they have self-parking
Right.
in the parking structure right next to the building. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a good venue. And I've been out there before smoking cigars. So
Yes.
That's a good place.
Yeah, it's a very nice place. And they just remodeled the patios. They're very welcoming now.
So let's say John, a CEO, is coming, but he wants to bring a couple SVPs with him, or people that are under him, but still
Sure.
high network type people,
Sure.
but still high net worth people. Is that appropriate, or how does
Well,
that
it
work?
is appropriate, and we've been very fortunate. We're kind of self-regulating. Our target audience was high net worth individuals, executives, business owners, professionals, and they tend to run in the same sphere, as the rest of the professionals and executives. So when they bring people to the event, when we send out the invitations, we also put our mission statement, and it's a reminder that when you're bringing guests to the event, these are people that you would want to do business with. These are people that you would want to introduce to other people and have them do business with. So it's been self-maintaining.
Okay.
And there's not, a week goes by that I don't get a phone call or an email when they'll be saying that, John, I'm bringing my boss, the owner of the company, to the event. Can I do that? Oh, absolutely. Or I don't smoke cigars, but, my boss does, and I want to bring him to the event. I've been there before. I enjoyed it. I told him about it or her about it. Can I bring them? Absolutely. You don't have to smoke cigars. You just have to put up with us.
I'm glad you brought that up. You said bring her. So it's not a male only type of event. It's all genders included.
Absolutely. You hit that on the head. We have about a 10, 15% ladies that show up and join the event. Some smoke cigars, some don't. Some come because they want to be around the type of people that are there and network with them. These are high achieving individuals as well, ladies. So yes.
Well, and being at Bastangos and outdoors, that's real good, because the smoke is just floating up in the air.
Absolutely. And it's the beauty of living in Southern California. We are blessed, okay? We can be outdoors, probably 11 months of the year.
That's right.
And we are. We have some beautiful venues that we go to. We go dark in December for the holidays. Mm-hmm. January and February, we kind of lean towards indoor cigar lounges, but bigger ones that'll hold 30, 40 people. But the rest of the time, we strive to be outdoors and enjoy this beautiful weather that we're blessed with here in Southern California.
What if it rains? What are we going to do?
Well, if it rains, knock on wood, we've been rained out one time in 9 years.
Okay.
And it was at Bastango 5 years ago.
Was it? Wow.
But if it rains out and we know about it ahead of time, we usually have a backup.
Okay.
Yeah.
So female executives bringing other female executives, you just want it to be a big party. That's basically what we're trying to do, and not really have it. Not really have it gender specific. I got that, but it's not like only a female can come if she brings some other guys with her. There's nothing like that going on.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And it's funny you should say a big party. When I first started this, I'm married. The first 6-7 months, it was a lot of work getting things going, and I would have to be there and this and that. And of course, it involves drinking and smoking cigars. So, I'd come home and my wife would say, I don't know what you're doing. You say you're doing business and working, but it seems to me like all you're doing is partying, smoking, and drinking. And to her, that's what it was. So we kind of call it a party with a purpose. Mm-hmm. And since then, she's been to a number of them with me, and she actually smokes a cigar and occasionally herself. And she sees the work that goes into it. We're not just there hanging out, especially the management team that we have. Their job is to make sure everybody's comfortable, checked in, introduced, get their cigars, get their drinks, and enjoy the evening.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I know you wrote a book, John, about networking. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, that was I was approached to do that by a good friend of mine, Dave Rolander, who's a well-known author. He wrote the CEO Code and also the Idiot's Guide for CEO and Management. But he's been one of our regular members pretty much since the beginning. He approached me and said, you should share this with other people that might want to do this and what have you, and give them kind of a guideline. So it came from that space, and it took me about a year. It's a quick read. It's not a volume or War and Peace, okay? But it's a blueprint of how you can start your own networking group, become your own center of influence, and make your life much easier, grow your business, grow your income, and have fun in the process.
Yeah, you're right. The days of dialing for dollars and door knocking are gone.
Yes.
So having a sphere of influence and having people that you can go to and just work with, that's the best place to be. Yeah.
Yes. And even though it was built, and I mentioned in the book and what have you, that it was built on my two passions, which are cigars and good spirits, Scotch, bourbon, rum, tequila, what have you. But it's not specific. If you collect coins, if you enjoy wine, if you enjoy automobiles, anything that's your passion that you can share with other people that share that passion, you'll be surprised at how many people do share your passion, but you won't know until you try it. Right. So you can build that networking around that and help grow your business.
Anything else, John, we should talk about that you can think of in terms of network and relationship building?
Well, networking and relationship building, again, it's about...
They're two different things.
There's two different things.
Yep.
They are. Networking, another reason I started the group is I was invited to a lot of the different networking groups in Southern California. There's groups that are out there that are national and big groups. I'm not going to mention the names. We all know who they are. But when you go there, you're looking at, okay, I have to bring a referral. I have to fill out this piece of paper. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to pay $1,000 or $1,500 up front. I have to pay $200 a month or $50 a month. I have to be there every meeting or I get cast out and exercised. And to me, it was more work than what I did for a living. So I wanted to make it simple. I wanted to make it easy access. We don't charge dues or fees for our event. There's no have to be there. If you don't show up for 3 months, you're still welcome back. Okay. And I wanted to make it comfortable. If I didn't like somebody at one of the other networking events, there's nothing I could do about that. Because of being a part of that group, I had to deal with that person. And give them referrals. Well, that's not how business is done in my eye. If I don't like the person, if I don't have a relationship, if I don't feel good and trust the person and like being around them, why would I refer somebody? So that was part of the concept of putting it together. The networking group is so you could have that relationship. We have, maybe 10 or 12 financial advisors in our group at any given time. Real estate people, bankers, lawyers of all different stripes and sizes, company owners, industrial business owners. There's more than one. And they can pick and choose who they want to build that relationship and do business with. And I believe that's why it works 9 years later.
If I heard you right, there's no cost of entry. Buy your own booze and bring your own cigar.
Right.
Okay.
The format originally started out with no dues or no fees. You're responsible for your own tab. Now, there are certain venues, like the Center Club here in Orange County, a private membership club. Any event that's done there, they charge you. I'm a member, and they charge me, period. So if I have a group of 20 people there, I'm going to hit with a charge. It's just the way it is. You have to meet a minimum. So for those type of events where you have a high-end club that's going to charge you, then what we generally do is we will charge a admission fee like $40, $45, but we'll bring value to that. We'll get free cigars. We'll get free liquor tastings. We get food. You get valet parking. You get all the perks, for $40 or $45 that you're going to spend more than that anyway, probably, if you show up and buy 2 drinks and buy a cigar.
Right. So, John, what's your favorite cigar?
Oh, that's a question I get asked all the time. And my short answer is it's the one I'm smoking. Okay. Or I wouldn't be smoking it. But with all the mystique around Cuban cigars, yes, they are good cigars. And my favorite in that vein would be a Cuban Monte Cristo No. 2. But there are some wonderful cigars out there that will compete, in my opinion, with some of the best Cuban cigars. You got Patron. You have Javier Cerrone and his Cerrone premium cigars that are out there. The Romeo and Julieta Dominican. Those are just some wonderful cigars. Those are my go-tos.
Okay.
And occasionally, I'll get a high-end cigar, Patron Anniversario or something like that to celebrate an occasion. But I'm an average cigar smoker. I generally don't spend over $15, $20 for a cigar.
Do you normally have anybody there to kind of educate folks on cigars or in whiskeys or?
Well,
drinks?
again, absolutely. It's a great question. Because of the nature of what we do in the networking, we generally always have a cigar vendor on site that's giving away free cigars because it's included in the ticket price that we charge. And they educate, they light, they show them how to cut, they show them how to do everything about a cigar. And then twice a year, we have what we call Cigar 101, where we're bringing a cigar roller or a cigar vendor. We'll take the cigar education from the field, the seed, to the aging, to the rolling, to the lighting, to the cutting, and how to properly put out a cigar. Okay, there is an etiquette. We're not snobs, but there is an etiquette, just like driving a car, or eating at a nice restaurant. There is an etiquette that goes along with it. So we educate. And again, that's why we have a lot of ladies that are joining us, and even younger. We had a couple of 20-somethings at our launch party in Westlake Village, a guy and a girl that were experimenting and trying their cigars. And they were amazed that people accepted them as being a newbie. They didn't look down on them or go, gee, you're not doing this or that. They actually educated them, talked them through it, and made them feel welcome. And that's why a lot of ladies, enjoy coming to our events.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about your favorite whiskey or liquor?
Oh, well, my favorite spirits and liquor depends on the mood I'm in. I would have to say my all-time favorite is Macallan 12-year,
Okay.
single malt Scotch. But I love the Scotch spectrum from the peaty Lefroy and Lagavulin and Ardbegs to the Balvenie Double Woods with the cherry and oak cask. When it comes to the tequila side, I'm a tequila aficionado. I love tequila. A good reposado, a good añejo. And when you're talking about tequila, in my opinion, and the opinion of people in the industry, when you first try a tequila that's a high-end tequila, a premium tequila, try their Blanco first, or silver, generally it's called Blanco, because if the Blanco is a sipping tequila that you can sip and enjoy like a brandy or cognac, the rest of the tequila should be very good as well. You can't take a bad unaged tequila and make a good aged tequila. So That's my first test. It's, give me your Blanco. Let me taste it. If I can sip it and enjoy it and get the nuances, just like a wine or a cognac, I'll move up the line. Simple as that. Then you're looking at rum. Rum, the whole atmosphere. Jamaica, rum for Haiti. It's just, and it goes on and on. So, I grew up in Napa area, so I was a wino at first. And some red wines will go with cigars, but it's not for my palate. I enjoy a good rum, a good Scotch, a good tequila. Not a big bourbon fan, but I will drink Lost Republic bourbon. It's one of the better bourbons out there. It's a small boutique bourbon house.
So this event coming up in Orange County on November 14th, right?
November 13th, yeah.
Wednesday. November 13th. Is there a price for that, or how's that one work?
No, this is a no-fee event.
Okay.
The Mistango is a great restaurant. They just remodeled their patio. So they invited us back to check out the patio per se. And in that respect, they're not charging us a per-person fee or use of the patio. They want everybody to experience and get exposure. So in turn, we're not charging anybody for that. They will pay for their own drinks. They will pay for their own cigars and their own food if they order it. Mm-hmm. But we will have tastings there. I believe we have a bourbon, wine, and a new premium vodka.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one.
I'll make sure I'll be there.
We're getting emails 2 or 3 a day for people that are going, yeah, I want to be there. They haven't been to Bistango. It was one of our regular venues for a long time. And then they started doing events on Wednesday night, so we couldn't get there. And then they did the remodel of the patios. So we're very excited to be back there.
Well, thanks for coming on, John, and talking about, that night. I think it's going to be a great night in Orange County. For those people who are listening in Westlake Village, in L.A., and also San Diego. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Yeah, absolutely. We also have Facebook sites. So if you want to find out more, you can go to Facebook and just type in Cigar Night Business Mixer Group. All the sites will come up and just pick the one that you want. You can email me at john@cigarnightbizmixer.com or call me at 877-331-2533 for more information or to get an invite emailed out.
So I'm signing off right now. This is Eric Bell. You can always contact me at eb@wait-what.biz. Thank you.